Today is gonna be every single book I own. I want to disclaim this. I'm 15 years old. This is not a lot of books, but it's a lot of books. And I buy every single book I own because I have a job. And the books I did not buy were gifted to me from my friends or my family. Okay, so my favorite author is Colleen Hoover. I love that woman. So we're gonna start with all the books I own by her. Okay, so first we got Ends With Us. Oh, I'm also rating these. I'm not gonna go into detail. This was a 5-star read, and I started rereading it just a tad bit, and I haven't gone very far apparently. 5 stars. Then we got It Starts With Us. I'm gonna give this one a 4 stars, just because it was more like of a fluff book than Ends With Us, you know. I don't know where to put these. Right there, okay. And then we got Ugly Love. I tapped this the whole way through the first time I read it, and the pages are coming out, which sucks, but 5 stars. Making me cry. Then we got Heartbones. This one is so underrated, but if you do read it, I would say like read it on either a hot day or in the summer. So that's the kind of vibe it gives out. Also, these pages are so bright. 4.5 stars. Regretting You. Also very like not talked about book by her, which I don't understand, because this also made me cry. I'll give it a 4.5. I rate all of her books very highly. I'm sorry if I'm talking quietly. Okay, Verity. I am not a thriller person, psychological thriller, horror, like I love romance, but this book really makes me want to read more books like that. I read this actually a long time ago. I'm gonna give it 4.75. The 0.15 is because it wasn't a fully romance book. That's just my opinion. I love romance, but there was a lot of romance in it. Don't get me wrong. Then we gotta confess, this one was kind of underwhelming. Like the plot twist and everything were very Colleen Hoover. And it's really cool how like there's art in the middle of the book. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. Not my favorite. Not bad. All Your Perfects. This one was kind of like I forget I read it. It was not my favorite. It was pretty sad too. And there's definitely trigger warnings. I think there's trigger warnings in all of her books, but yeah. 4 stars as well. Layla. One of her first thriller books, I think. It's good. I kind of hate the main characters. Not main characters, the love interest. I actually don't know what to call him because the whole book is in his point of view. I'm gonna give this 4 stars just because like it made me really mad. I just noticed on Maybe Someday there's somebody kissing in the words, which the cover is a 1. I have not read this book, so I can't. I started it, but like I got this far, not far at all. I'm excited to read it, but I've been buying too many first books of series and I need to like stop so I can actually read the books I have. Okay, now we're gonna get into books that I have read that I own, and then we'll do my physical TBR. The first thing I'm gonna talk about is the first full series I've read, I think, and probably my favorite books of all time. They're the Twisted series. You guys, oh my god, whoever recommended this to me, I actually don't even know. I'm in love with you. Like, give me more recommendations because these were all 5-star reads. Twisted Love. This is also a family, or not a family, a friend group series, which is amazing. All 5 stars. I'm not even gonna lie to you. The books get longer and longer as you proceed. My favorite book is Twisted Games, the second in the series. Twisted Games is a 6-star read. Next we got Rule Number 1, You Can't Date the Coach's Daughter. I hate this cover. I'm sorry. It's just, you know, it's also a high school like romance and it's super short. I read this in one day at school. Yeah, I think it's a book off of Wattpad or something. It looks like it. But it was a good book. I'll give it 3.5. Secondhand embarrassment in a lot of parts. Same with this one. There's a lot of secondhand embarrassment, but there's also Taylor Swift references and movie references. And it was like, it's an enemies to lovers, and I love enemies to lovers. Like, one of my favorite tropes ever. And the back is so cute. Cover is so cute. I'll give this one a 4-star though. This book was the first book the book kind of that got me into reading. The first one I read in years. I will be honest, I did not give the book my full attention. I didn't connect very well with the people. It's a second chance marriage book. Or like engagement. I just wasn't paying too much attention to it. It's like, this is the first book in a long time. I say that the book that got me into reading was It Ends With Us, because that's whenever I really paid attention. But yeah, I'll give this 4 stars. It was cute from what I can remember. It was over a year ago. I also have not heard a lot about that book. I don't know why I chose that. Then we got The Cheat Sheet. I love the famous trope. It might be my favorite trope of all time. So this book, and she was also a dancer. He's in the NFL, she's a dancer. And I have been a dancer for like 10 years of my life. I don't dance anymore. So this was really enjoyable. It was so cute. It's best friends to lovers. 4.5. I don't rate very low. Okay, this is, I think, the last book I read. Funny you should ask. It's another famous trope. It's a then and now book, which I don't really love when timelines like skip back. It's just because I get attached to like the now, and then it will go back then, and it will, obviously that's like to build suspense and get you to keep reading. It's just not my favorite thing in the world. I'll give it 4 stars, but it was also famous trope, so that's why it's bringing it up. It was super cute, and that cover might be my favorite cover of all time. Like, look how gorgeous this is. Then we got the first book to a series, Addicted. I haven't bought Ricochet yet, and I've been trying to. I'm gonna say money because I'm going to a Taylor Swift concert next month, so I need money for like merch and stuff. So, but this book was 5 stars. I'm so excited to start the next one. My friend across the street, she has it, so I might just like borrow it and then buy the 3rd book and later on get it. I don't know. 5 stars. Then we got Love on the Brain. This one, Enemies to Lovers, so cute. So cute. He's like protective of her, and it's I'm gonna give it 4.5. As you can probably notice, I give 5-star, 4.5, or 4-star. I don't really go lower than that. Then we got Book Lovers. This feeling, I don't like this. Like, why does it feel like that? It's kind of rough. This is also another Enemies to Lovers, if you're noticing a trend here. She goes into this small town to go like write a book or something. He's there because that's where his family lives. And he's also like a publisher. I don't really exactly know, but like they hate each other because something that happened with work. Also, why is this camera so low? Yeah, so they hate each other, and then they start spending time together. I hate whenever books like they're like something's about to happen and then it like cuts off. So I'll give that 4 stars. I think that's the only Emily Henry book I've read too, which I understand the hype. I prefer Colleen or Allie Hazelwood or Anna Hong. I don't know how to say her name. Okay, then this is the slowest burn book I've ever read, and one of my first 5-star reads. Enemies to Lovers. Yeah, Spanish Love Deception. It was so good. It's also fake dating, Enemies to Lovers, which makes it 10 times better. It was really good. It's pretty. It's really long. It was my longest book that I read for a while, but it was really good. I recommend it. If you're looking for recommendations, I recommend it. 5 stars. I just don't love how slow it was. Took them forever to have like their first kiss. If that's a spoiler, I'm sorry. Oh, this is my only LGBTQ book I've read. Not on purpose, it's just, oh, it's bent. Red, White, and Royal Blue. 5 freaking stars. So good. It's kind of like the famous trope because he's the prince of a country. He's the president's son. So like you can kind of see where it goes wrong there for the book, like why it's so suspenseful and they can't just date. So they like it's like a secret dating. And if I had to give this book a song, it would be They Don't Know About Us by One Direction. I'm sorry, I know you did not ask. Yeah, Casey McQuiston, they're just a great author. They wrote that book so well. It's a Christmassy type book if you're reading in the holiday season next year. Famous trope. Yeah, I read mostly just famous or enemies to lovers. Now that I'm looking back, I did not realize that. I think this is Then and Now as well. Yeah, pretty sure. But it didn't bother me as much as in this one because they're both singers, and it's Christmas, and it was. I'll be nice and no, 4.75. It's pretty short too. I'm trying not like give these books reviews because I would be like sitting here forever. Because I can go on and on about these books. This one is a Wattpad published book. The Upside of Falling. I wanted to read this for so long, but whenever I first discovered it, it was on pre-order. It wasn't out yet. And then whenever I realized it was out, I bought it immediately. I actually can't even remember much about this book. Okay. Yeah, I think I remember what this one was about. I'll give it 4 stars. I really overhyped it. It's also so short. Jesus. How many pages? Like 279. Super short. Big text. Yeah, 4 stars. It's a high school romance, so there's not much that can happen in a high school romance. Like they can't like have a falling out and like move or something and then like rediscover each other. That sounds just like, did I have them? Yeah. That sounds just like Love in Other Words. Then we got 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This one isn't a super like romancy book. It's just talking about her 7 husbands. She's not falling in love ish. I'm not gonna say anything. It's famous again. This one, everybody's like, oh my god, it's like the best book I ever read, 5 stars. That's what my best friend says. I didn't connect that much with it, but I really do want to read more Taylor Jenkins Reid books because like I hear that she has some really good ones, and yeah, I'd like to build my collection of authors. This one was really good though. I'm gonna say 4 stars only because there's just 2 stories going on at once, and it was just so much. And then there was like 7 freaking husbands. Like she got married 7 times, so it's hard to follow and remember which one is which because they'll say like a name, you're like, wait, why did they get divorced? When did they get together? Like, you know. Then this is 100% a 5-star read. I saw so many booktubers recommending this book for so long. I'm so happy I bought it. I wish I had the old cover, but this cover's gorgeous. It's so cute. Like this one in Funny should be like on a coffee table somewhere. 5 stars, 100%. Love in Other Words. And that's coming from me, someone who does not like then and now timelines. It's friends to lovers, second chance romance, misunderstood or miscommunication. I could rant about this book. I've been recommending it to all my friends and they still have not read it, but they bought it. So that's a step. I'm never gonna get over this cover. Okay, so this one I technically did read, but it was for school. But it's a really popular book. It's The Outsiders. I'm not gonna read it because it was in 7th grade, so it was a long time ago. I just had this sitting there with my books. Yeah, so that's their Platinum edition. What the heck? Whoa. Hold the phone. Why does it do that? They cover it with clothes. That's so weird. Okay. Now we're gonna get into my TBR. So I have to put all these books back down on the ground. Okay. So some of these books I have DNF'd. I have not finished. But I plan on reading them eventually, just not anytime soon. Yeah. So first book on here is The Good Girl Complex. I bought this kind of a while ago. I just haven't gotten around to it. I also feel like it's a summer book just by the cover. She's sitting on a beach. So I feel like I want to wait until it warms up a little here in Texas because it's a little cold and I'm not in the mood for like a summery book. Maybe like next week. You never know, okay? It's kind of warm today. We got Daisy Jones and the Six. I DNF'd this, not for a good reason. I just stopped reading because I went into a slump. But I do really want to read this. The first episode of the book, or the show, came out yesterday. I'm trying not to watch it. My hair is like in my face. I'm trying not to watch it, but I really want to. This cover is really intriguing, but it's not a romance, which is the reason I keep putting it off. It's my excuse. Here's another DNF'd book. The Song of Achilles. I've heard so many good things about this book, but I can't get into it. I don't understand anything with Greek mythology. I'll need like a quick lesson before I read this book, because there's like some words in here I have absolutely no clue what they mean. I know this book is also really sad, which I just not prepared for. We have 2 DNF books by Emily Henry. My bad, sorry. We got Beach Read. I actually don't know why I DNF this. Seems like it'd be a really good one. They're both authors. Polar opposites, so I don't know if they're enemies. Probably enemies, honestly. It's a cute cover, not gonna lie. Yeah. I don't think I'm ever gonna get around to this. I got to page 179 and I'm in the middle of it. And I was just so bored. It's a then and now, Friends to Lovers, which Friends to Lovers is not my favorite, but this is why. Because they give so many reasons they should not be together. Even though they're like in love, they're like, well, it will ruin our friendship. Well, it will ruin your friendship if you have these feelings and don't tell each other and then try to get over them, and then that will ruin your friendship. So just stay. I know it's not that easy, but still. Yeah, I don't know when I'm getting to it. I don't think I am. Anytime soon, at least. Okay, I really do want to read this one because I'm trying to get into more thrillers or mysteries. And I've heard this one's really good. It's just, I don't want to bring this to school, you know? First, because it's based off of a murder that happened in school. Not in school, like during school, but like to a high school student. So eventually, I'm really excited. I've heard a lot of good things about it, but it's also a series. I need to stop buying series. This one, I don't know when I'm going to get to it because I haven't watched the movie, but it's supposedly really, really sad, and the book is really, really sad. All the videos of people reading it are crying. All the bright places. Yeah. And I think it's super trigger warning. Like, I don't know when I'm gonna get to that either. I did create a thing where I could like draw a name and I'll read that book. But every time I draw it, I want to read something else. Here's my only hardcover. Normal People by Sally Rooney. I want to read this actually, like really bad. I don't know anything about it though. Oh, that sounds good. I might read that next. Not next, like next, because I already know what I'm reading next. Also, it's a pretty cool cover. And then I have the full series of The Summer Turned Pretty. Started the first one, I don't know, halfway through it almost, but I already watched the first season of the show and I'm gonna watch the second season no matter what, whether or not I finish it. What is this bookmark? I want to read it. The covers, here's the thing. So whenever I bought it, I bought the first one, but like I had to buy it fast because right after I bought it, the cover got changed, I think. It's like the TV series cover. And so I bought the other two, so that would not happen, so I could have all matching ones. And I just haven't gotten around to it. This is the book I'm starting either today or tomorrow. I'm really excited to read it. It's a series, of course. But it's a trilogy. It's 3 books. It's the fine print. I think it follows like a group of brothers. Also, it's like the paper, or the edges are so interesting. Like, kind of like messes with your eyes because the chapters are all like that. Yeah. This cover is really cool. It makes you feel like it's fantasy, but it's not. because like this kind of looks like a castle, but it's just the theme park, I think. I don't know. I really want to read this, so I think I'll do like a read with me video on this because I'm super excited. But I might be reading it at school, so that's why I need to start it today so I can finish it before Monday. Okay, yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Let me know any other videos you want to see. Preferably book videos, because as you can tell, I love books. So yeah, I don't really know what to say here.